Yes, until we get to executive session, we're gonna turn it off and then we're gonna get it off the table. Get this out.
Methylene blue. Just take this methylene blue. No. Methylene blue. That's okay. Just in case. Okay. No smurf.
So this is just this year versus last year in December. But this change, this is just current month. So 25 and 24. This is just my December. This is versus last year. Yep. Yeah. December 1 to 30.
What I can do, sign these.
The last one is where y'all made the change in the minutes on the corporation. And it'll need that.
Is there two
Just,
checks?
yeah, just two.
What's your January look like?
So we got non-existent.
Huh?
Non-existent. I'll show you.
I mean, but it comes in late. I always see a lot come in right after the first.
Today? It's that red stuff, that cherry stuff you're drinking.
You can see it. I've got some of them.
This one is where I did it on the state website too, showing
Yeah, it is.
that's the alcohol.
Right now, we're
And this is where our quorum is today. And then it shows also that new day, change date.
January always comes in.
The meeting's on.
Or we move that, maybe they go wherever we posted.
There's nothing to sign.
No, but it's just your proof of posting. I do need it back though. It's with the file and all that. Sorry. Yeah.
all of a big company. Work upon it.
You should tell you this. Do you want me to look at it? Or you did it?
Where do I sign the stamp back there? On the last, this right there. Oh, okay.
Cut the shirt that you're wearing. Shirt that you're wearing. I have a hat like this on.
Good.
That'd be a good Christmas present.
I see you cleaned your glasses off.
Huh?
I see you cleaned your glasses off.
I had to.
Sarah? Oh, well.
Now he's upset.
Bigfoot.
Boom, boom.
We need to get him some tennis shoes.
Steel-toed tennis shoes.
All right, guys. 4 o'clock. Call this meeting of the McCurtain County Rural Water District to order at 4 p.m.
sir.
Chuck?
Here.
Mr. Perry?
Yes, sir.
I'm present. Mr. Chairman, Coral Miss present.
Thank you. Thanks to our guests for coming today. Proof posting of the meeting. Sarah's done that with the county, state, the email, website, the Water 5 website, and the office room. Got Consideration approval, consent agenda, consisting of A, approval of minutes from October and November meetings, B, approval of bills and disbursements, C, approval of financial report, D, approval of new benefit units, E, approval of new transfer of benefit units, F, approval of submittal from the 2022A loan fund. Can we get a motion made on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll say it.
Roll call for approval of managers of the minutes. Chuck?
Yes.
Approval? Paul?
Yes.
Tommy? Yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Discuss consideration, approval, rejection of manager's report presented by Rod Pratt.
We paid 4 weeks on the system for the month of November 2025. Total usage for the month was 23,101,000 gallons. The daily average was 770,000 gallons, 770.33. Monthly back T samples were absent. Stage 2 testing was great. And maintenance, 2 back T samples, $62. Mainline repairs, $2,521.85. Stage 2 samples was 700. Total was 3,283 and 85 cents. New meters, there was 2. Line locates 200. Work orders 79. Active members is 2,788. Non-active is 1,265.
Alright, thanks, sir. And any updates on the 8-inch and the stand pipe?
It's moving forward, the Stein pipe, and they're getting the material and stuff brought in for that 8-inch.
All projects in are on track.
Pardon?
We have 2 projects right now going on, and they're both on track.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Where are we, are we needing an easement on any of that?
On the, so on the 8-inch will be fine. We'll work within our easement already.
Okay.
The work, we should be good, but we still gotta work on that deed.
Okay. Anything else? You guys have any questions for now? I don't know. Can we get a
motion?
Yeah, can we get a motion made on,
I'll make a motion, we approve the manager's report for November.
A motion made to approve it by Kevin, seconded by manager's report. seconded by Chuck,
Made by,
There's a ball.
made by Paul, sorry.
Second one comes in second.
Roll call, Paul,
Yes, sir.
Chuck,
Yes.
Tommy, yes, Kevin,
yes.
motion carried.
And number 7, comment from the public, and 3 minutes, please. Alan?
I'm just here to look pretty.
You do look pretty. Chuck, you wanna take that 3 minutes and, introduce?
Sure. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce Don Hibben. Don Hibben is a real estate agent that has been here for over 10 years and working in the Hochatown area. Don lives across from the Hochatown Casino down here, and I've known Dawn for quite a while, and I've talked to her before about this vacancy on the board, and she expressed interest in it, so he said, could she take a couple of minutes to talk about herself?
I'd like to
and
take 3
give us-
minutes and
Well, I'm glad to be here, you know.
we'll take it down.
Always been very involved in the community. Fort Worth, I was executive director of Tarrant County Harvest and worked with Kay Granger and then, so I'm really old. And so we worked with the city feeding the hungry and been involved in Chamber of Commerce when I was in Hugo. I've had 3 real estate franchises in Broken Bow, Hugo, and Antlers. So been a part of Southeast Oklahoma for a long time. So looking forward to helping you guys out.
You live here full time now?
Yes, except for weekends. So
Yeah.
I get to go home one day.
Sometimes that's what I do.
Yeah. It's necessary. It's very busy right now. Yeah, the market's crazy.
So, anybody got any questions?
My resume's on LinkedIn if they need to.
Okay.
Welcome
You have
aboard.
everything?
It's on LinkedIn if you want to
Oh,
see
okay.
that. Yeah.
I just said welcome aboard. It's, I don't know that I've met you in person. I've talked to you before. But, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
And, you think it's something, I mean, I'm sure Chuck's talked to you about all of, everything that kind of goes on, and usually, we've got a lot of ironing out to do.
It's all
now.
process. It's all process, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I was with the Chamber of Commerce in Hugo for years and had to work through all of those things and be diligent about doing it and be polite and forceful when we need to be. So it's
Well,
just
we,
part of the city.
Dawn she comes by and she attends our meetings from time to time.
I think I've seen you up, yeah.
Yeah, I've been here. I like to know what's going on
Yeah.
because I deal with real estate. People want to know what's going on.
Right, exactly.
We talked before about dialogue and all that stuff. What's on the website and how do we get people to understand what we're talking about
Yeah.
because they're from the city and they don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, we'll take that information and we'll probably move forward at our next January meeting.
that's fine.
And, we'll probably try to make a vote by that time is what we would like, is what I would like to do. And I know the guys have said the same thing. We'd like to get somebody, we need this position filled. And then, of course, that position will be back up in June
Okay.
for reelection.
Right. Well, I forgot to mention I'm ex-military, so
Okay.
I don't have any problem getting things done. So,
What, branch?
United States Navy.
Oh, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
You've already checked on it. Check the position, you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Or Chuck, are you rolling off? So your term ends in,
Yes.
May this year?
Yeah, it's up to the election again.
You gonna run again?
Oh, no.
Chuck,
Well,
just because you bring somebody on doesn't mean you get off.
I'll put him in a headlock.
Anybody else have any questions? Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. I've been here quite a few times and I love Hochatown.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Discussion, consideration, approval, rejection of the district's annual budget for February 1, 2026 through January 31st, 2027.
There's that in the pocket, boss.
I'll just add as we get started that, Sarah and Dusty and I had the chance yesterday to go through this and look it over, and put some of, this year versus last year. What was that?
The election,
The one thing that we were needing to find out was a cost for the ballots, for the mail-in voting that we put in the last minutes. We do have some, that would be contracted services, so we do have a line item in there, but probably we did discuss that would be something we'd need to get some cost for, and we would start that sooner than later. Like probably about the first week we have to work on that.
Probably, need to make sure we put that on our minutes, on our agenda for the next meeting, so that maybe you can give us an update on where we are. And you still have that information there. Yeah, I might
very
have
back.
to decide.
Is it to the side?
Well, now mine was.
Oh,
I didn't open the packet. Sure.
is it in the packet?
Yes, it's in the very back of the packet, there's the last year's and then
Okay.
there's for this year. And then he has the one that we need signature.
Okay. Which one do you need to see? The one Kevin has?
Yes.
Okay. Is it? But in discussions with, Sarah and Dusty, there were really no, major changes from last year to this year, other than they were doing some adjustments, Rod's retired, so they had to do some payroll adjustments around that. And then they did plan and figure in, didn't we say to hire, a replacement for the one that resigned, and then we do have room in there to hire an additional person if we need to for field services, right? Okay. And some of the issues that, I don't know if it would like on that.
What do we have in here? Do we have anything for marketing? Nothing needs to fall under.
I could add a line.
When does this have to be prototyped?
Last year, it was done in the January meeting.
Cause I do have one that possibly be on this, I didn't even think about it.
This budget's for February through January, so we would have, we could tag this and make any amendments or adjustments.
Yep, I'll work into this too. But I do think after today, I'm gonna talk to you about something later in this, an agenda item, I think. And then, we might want to look at doing something, adding something to this. So y'all take this and look at it, and, we'll vote on it in January, correct?
So what we're gonna do then is move this to, the January meeting,
Or,
under the item here.
I mean, and I only have one out, so, if y'all wanna stand down it, and then we could move down to my item, and, if y'all may, if you like it, fine, if we don't have to come up with an amount, if not, then don't worry about it.
Would that be item 13, what you're talking about?
No,
Okay.
here we go, 13. So y'all wanna move down to that right quick, in case, I mean, if everybody wants to feel all warm and fuzzy about it, we'll approve it today. And if not, we'll move it to the January meeting. But I wanted to discuss, okay, so no action be taken on this, and then I can come back to it. You know, if you wanna move on down to 13. Yeah, we just moved 13.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Discussion on, what that is, kind of, because we'll have to.
Well, we can have discussion on them, but we can also discussion, consideration, approval,
Sure.
or projection, we're gonna add it into that, so,
Then we can
anything
prove.
made up there could be added in to the meeting and then approved.
So, I did not get any, a lot of information about it. She did text me the other day, and I can't even remember what she told me. I have, approached someone about, doing social media coverage for us. We've never done that. And I think that in the past, we should have been doing it, because we've gotten eaten alive on social media at times. And it's not my place to respond to it, it's not the board either, the board member's place to respond to it, it's not your place. So, you know, if you have a person that's designated to do that, something we should look into. And there is a person that does, this kind of work for the town and for other areas, other places in our area. And so I talked to her about it a while back, and she didn't think she would have, she knows she's not having enough time. But she goes, she was doing something, trying to get football, she does something with broken bone and football stuff. And so she goes, let me get that over with, and I'll let you know. And, so, let me see. And, okay, so she had found that she probably couldn't do it, being that it could be a, conflict of interest because of some of the other stuff that she does. And so she's, made a recommendation. And she works with him, of course, if she recommends somebody, I take her, about pretty highly. But, so, I guess what I'm trying to say is, do we wanna look at that and maybe get more information on it between now and our next meeting? In case we wanna throw that into a budget, or do we wanna move forward?
Well, I think it's important that we have on the social media, the public relations side, that can coordinate with the town of Hochatown. So if we do have a freeze up and, you know, getting that information out, I know the department has struggled getting information out because not having a person dedicated to the water department trying to get information, and dispel some false information that can get out there when you got a freeze coming in, you know, and telling people, you know, to make sure it would be an assistance, helping look for leaks and, you know, if your stuff's on the north side, you know, it's just basic education items.
I think it would be
and
good.
that would be good for, on the social media side, you know, some of the things that we can do to educate people basically, basic education for winter freeze, you know. Don't leave your faucets running full, give it a stream. And getting some of that basic information out, I think could be very beneficial through social media, because that's one of the problems we struggle with, when it, because they just open it up full blast and you've got everybody running full blast when we're needing a, you know, just a small little stream. And that's what causes the problems with tanks draining and all the issues. So I fully support what you're saying there.
Okay. Well, let's,
We
then,
can put it in the budget in and then figure it out for something, you know, what we can spend.
you know, Shelley could probably give me an idea.
Yeah,
And then, I can either get that information and we bring it back in our January meeting, or I can actually have him come here and give us an idea, and because this is a person that she's recommending, and y'all, we could question, and then after we talk to him and then approve, which we would need a number to put on that to begin with. So I could probably work with her on an idea of what we might want to budget for it. And then that way, at least we have it in there, we wouldn't be in a hurry to get it done. We could maybe talk to a couple of different ones. That sound good to you guys?
I'm good.
Okay.
so you say we put stick a number in there right now,
I say we kind of talk to
or what, talk to someone?
and get a number that we think would work for us, that we could throw it in there, and I'll bring that to Sarah, and then we'll throw it in the budget, and then we'll approve the budget in January if we choose to do so. That sound okay?
So so, alright, so we're gonna just, we'll propose a budget for adding to FY 2026. It's a budget, January 26th, and then that's gonna come back, and I said that was discussion only, and then that's gonna come back on item A. We're just gonna put no action taken.
Well, we could put, we table that, and that way we could table it for January meeting. That way
Yeah,
it's
no action
specific.
taken, it goes away. With the
It
table,
can go
with
away,
the
but if
table,
we table it, it'll
Yeah,
table
so-
it to our January,
Does that require a vote, to take it
I
out?
don't think.
Does,
Table takes a vote.
takes a vote, we don't have enough handy book either. You know what, let's be safe, we'll just do it. Table to January, so, I'll just make a motion, just so we're safe, to table this, to the January meeting.
And it is January, as of right now, that's January 13th.
So I have a motion on the table for that, I'll need a second. I'll second. And we're gonna do a roll call. Paul?
Approved, yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Tommy, yes. Kevin?
Yes.
Alright, motion's carried. Table the, annual budget to the January meeting. And we're gonna go on item number 9 also.
Discussion, consideration, approval, rejection to approve issuance of a district credit card in the name of the rural water district. Authorize designated employees as users, set credit limits, and adopt written procedures stating that the card is the financial responsibility of the district, not the individual card holder. So I think what they had told me, Sarah, that, in the past, that the card's been in Curtin County Rural Water 5 and Rod's name, is that correct?
Yes.
So we're wanting it, to just be under Curtin County Rural Water 5.
It was actually under Ed Hutchinson and Kathy Burks, is whose name it was
And they
actually
were
under.
responsible.
And they were responsible.
They were personally liable.
Personally liable.
See, I don't understand why you can't get a credit card with,
And I did send them an email and you know, asked them that, and
what card was it, what is it?
it's just our, it's our,
Our bank will give us one.
We talked about, Sarah and I
Well,
were
that's a debit card, though.
discussing is that, you know, the debit card doesn't have certain fraud protections that a credit card would offer, which was the reason why I think maybe they had used a credit card from a, I don't know what bank it was.
It's First National Bank of
Well,
Omaha.
this one that we've got is, the credit card.
Yeah, a credit card, which a debit card doesn't have as much protection, you know, for liability. And the goal here is to get it off the personal responsibility of the person's name that's on it and make it under the district. But we did call down to First Bank, and First State Bank, and they didn't really have a vehicle that we could do that with.
Well, I say that with what King says, is that we make the motion for you to move forward in trying to find a credit card, and that'll allow us just to do, I don't know why they wouldn't, just to do the Rural Water 5. And then at that point, if we find one, then we can go in and set the users and the credit limits, and a policy, a written policy on how they pay.
There is a written policy that we just kinda looked at together to see, which y'all could review later, you know, to see if there's changes or what y'all would like on that. It's currently, there isn't one.
Is this gonna leave us, if we didn't do anything on this one, will that leave us kinda not with options to have it after January 1?
No,
Before we,
no,
okay.
cause we haven't had one, and now, the only issue is what would happen, you know, if right now it's in his name, we're gonna put it to his name, so he would be personally liable on that switch.
But the limit on it's 10,000, so the liability would be at a maximum of 10,000.
If it comes to something like that, I'm sure Steve could draw up something where we can take that liability back off, the department would take it back off.
That may be what you have to do.
But why don't we reach out to whoever you're thinking, Rex, Fred, or Visa, whoever, and see if we can even do it. And then if we can, we'll move forward.
If I can say anything. The town has 3 credit cards. Adam's got one, both of our chiefs have got one, department heads. Each one of those is $10,000 limit. They are not responsible for it. The $30,000 limit on our credit card per month, each card is worth $10,000. But that bill is responsible, that bill comes to the town, not to the individual. We see the receipt of it and all the charges to it, and that's the First Bank down.
Is his name on the card?
It's just his name.
But it's not.
You have to have a name on the card.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what we went through.
Yeah.
We couldn't just put the town of Hochatown on it. It had to have a personal name on it.
But he's not
He's not
a
responsible.
personal guarantee for the card.
None of our 3 employees are responsible for the card.
Okay. So that's what I would do, is find that out and then pick the one you wanna go with, and then we'll move forward on that. That sound good?
Yep.
So, I don't know that we need any approval for her just to find one. Perhaps we'll approve it when she does, and the policy. So table it.
Yeah, we have a policy now. Is there any parts of this policy, we
We have no policy.
okay,
right
we
now.
may
So
need to
that's just
discuss
what
a couple of things on this, just to get this lined out on the policy. We just leave it where we just have that one part.
I think we need to wait until we actually get one, and then we can amend if we need to the policy and then approve it with it. So what I would say is that we will table this, table number 9, until January meeting. With, Sarah bringing the information on a new card, and at that point, she may already know of some stuff that she needs to do to the policy.
And there'll be some items on here that we're gonna have to, approve, like some spending limits that we'll have to put in, and then some documentation, just, I guess what I'm saying to the board, members, is to look this over
Yeah.
between now and next month, and see if there's any, changes or
Same thing.
changes to make it.
Same thing with that, budget, look it over. Think we'll have some time.
All right, so, Kevin had discussed tabling it, so we'll need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to table. Number 9, discussion of the annual budget, number 9, for the issuance of a district credit card with, further information from.
Okay, so I've got a motion to table, made by Kevin, I've got a second by Paul.
One more shot.
Roll call, Chuck?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Tommy? Yes. Kevin? Motion to table is carried.
Number 10, board discussion only regarding potential backup options for Wi-Fi and cellular service during internet outages, including possible solutions such as Starlink or alternative providers. Discussion will include first responder priority, bandwidth, or improved cellular coverage for critical operations. No action will be taken.
That was done from a discussion, and I just asked Sarah to put it on so we could discuss it in the board. And part of it was our telemetry, discussing was that Wi-Fi or what, and Dusty did fill me in on it. It's run off radio signal that all come back to here on radio bandwidths. The concern was if we, initially we thought we were gonna start getting a lot of this road construction coming through in 26. Howard, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's been pushed back to 27. So that would be, and we do experience, when they start that, there will be some internet outages. A concern was not having any redundancy for that and or any other options for the telemetry to keep to work. we do have a manual option that Dusty informed me that they can turn them off and on manually to, fill tanks, if the telemetry does go down. But we were really more concerned about having an options of, the office here, of having a kind of a backup in place. We do have, power outages. One of the hits that we take, going back over to that social media stuff and all that, is that, sometimes we don't have some redundancy built in. I know that the board has talked several times about redundancy and having the potential for internet communication for something that doesn't, when all this road construction going on, to have an option of using other parts than requiring fiber lines such as Charlotte, Gavin, the Starlink that the office uses for uploads and downloads, internet access, and then being able to run the telemetries off the radio. And then the other part of that would be, first responders have a bandwidth within the cellular communication that they're giving in case, locking emergencies, so that they, when the phone lines get all jammed up. And we know that happens in this area on heavy weekends. And we didn't know, and the question would be, would Dusty qualify as a first responder for emergency services to be able to get a company phone that operates on that bandwidth? To what?
It does.
It does now operate on that band, as a secondary band on the emergency?
No, right now, no, but you can.
You can, okay, board discussion only, so, we're discussing only, but I definitely right now at this point would recommend that at the next meeting that we put on the agenda to get, Dusty approved for the phone to be operating on that bandwidth, and that would be probably, do you carry a company phone or do you have a personal phone that?
It's personal, but company bought it.
Okay, so they pay the bill, the company pays the bill?
They bought the phone, I pay the bill.
Okay, do you get reimbursed for the bill?
We need to change that.
Okay, and we need to add that to it and change that, and, I'll just say this, you might wanna consider having your personal phone and having a company phone and having them separate. That would be probably advisable, just
Yeah.
for reasons.
I think that's what we need to do. I think my suggestion is if we get rural water fire phone review, then you have your own if you choose to do so.
And get it on that bandwidth. Cause that way, if you were sick or something like that, you'd be able to hand the phone to second in command.
Yeah.
And your personal phone's not tied up in it, so, Sarah, if you don't mind, then put that on for the next meeting. And then, on the backup options for Wi-Fi, cellular services, we can discuss, y'all's thoughts on that.
I don't know, that's the IT guy over there.
Thoughts on using, an option that doesn't tie us on our internet usage here to the hard lines that are coming into Hochatown, if they go down.
Mine's pretty reliable. Generally speaking, in these zones, we got it in a lot of our places, but you probably do it fine.
One of the concerns is, when they do start the road construction, we got some time now to visit that, because that's new information, so we've discussed this.
Well, I mean, it could be,
And I'll
good
give
to
you an
have a
example
backup.
though, the city was working on a road in front of where I live, and it was on a Monday or Tuesday, and the grader got into a line, the fiber, and cut it, and they wouldn't fix it till Friday. Because that's where they have their fiber splice guy in there.
They usually do pretty good and pretty quick on smaller stuff, but that bigger stuff, it takes a little while. But, like I say, it's sure not, a bad idea to have options.
Well, we've got some time to think about it. I would say that, what we need to do for Dusty would be probably a good productive point to come out of this, and then to look at options of Wi-Fi, because I promise you, we're gonna get, we're looking at secondary options. We have secondary options now running on point of sale systems in our businesses, because when those lines get cut, they can be down all day long.
So how would it affect us up here if the line got, our line, let's just say not our line, not our drop, but the main line. So that's gonna be a while. How would that affect us if we were without internet
We
or?
wouldn't be able to
tape
see
recording?
anything on our iPads. It would still read, but we couldn't see it from, like out in the field, we couldn't see it. If where we had tank go down, we'd have to have somebody here and out there.
Maybe anything else?
But that tank, you wouldn't know, even if you had a backup system such as a Starlink, you wouldn't be able to know if that tank was down or not, because those systems would either have to have their own Starlink, or they would have to be, because they feed into the internet, is that correct?
What I was saying before, if the cable is cut out here, we'll have poor connection, but if you get up there like at the tires, you can still see it.
Does our telemetry have the ability to have SIM chips? Because a lot of times you can get a line
We
cut,
got SIM.
but the phones work. So they are working off SIM chips off of the towers.
Yeah, and we have one truck that
Okay.
has OnStar Wi-Fi too.
So they're working off the tower, so they could still feed information back in through the radio. Would that be where you could monitor it from a central? I guess the idea is, what does it take to keep? So you've got your eyes and ears right here, seeing everything.
It would need Wi-Fi here, so it could send
Okay,
it to
so
our iPad.
so as long as you had Wi-Fi here, you would be able to see all that. Okay, that would be.
Would there be any,
Our Wi-Fi goes in and out all day long, like off and on all day long.
Well, that's always kind of part of the problem with Pine, is when we get heavy usage and a lot of people in the weekend, the Wi-Fi gets, late, a lot of slow, and,
talk to our IT guy about that and see what he suggests. And it could, it's, for instance, Starlink. You can buy a mobile, something that we could, it goes out. And it may not be that. You might just rather have a unit that stayed up there all the time. Anyway, you might talk to him and see what he thinks.
that unit would be here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you could do it as simple as just doing a mobile
Oh,
unit, not having to go buy the big unit, and then if you have problems, you throw it up. Or, that's what I'm saying, or we go ahead and, if we decide to do so, and just put up the whole system. And then even if we wanted to here, then, didn't even have it hooked up, and then all of a sudden we have problems, and we decide, okay, can we hook it up, and can we do it now? I don't know that. How fast
but
they
being able to maintain eyes and ears here watching, you'd see where if a tank was draining excessively fast, then they'd be able to react and proactively and shut off the lines to that tank in that area that it feeds.
I don't know
Instead
how
of
it
just kind
works,
of being blind, trying to guess where things are happening.
which I don't know if it works by the radio or if it works. We just got it set up to where if there's any net loss or the tank gets too low, it'll text us now and call
Oh, it texts and calls?
now.
Okay.
Got
I'm
that
just
set up.
thinking if you get an issue here where we got an ice storm, we got
I don't know if it
whatever
works
that-
off Wi-Fi though.
to
I
be
think it does.
a lot more proactive, and instead of finding out that a tank's down or getting low, that we can see if it's draining excessively fast, or you can cut it off, shut that part off, and then you don't have that latency of when you get the problem fixed. Now you got a 12-hour window or whatever to get the tank full.
I'll look into that and then get more information on it, see what you guys think about it.
Okay, got that notes taken for that. Item 11.
Discussion, consideration, approval, rejection of hoodies and or jackets for rural water staff.
jackets and the hoodies would just be like this little one with the logos on it.
Now, just for the field
Yes.
people only?
I'll make a motion to
Yes.
do
Yeah.
what he wants to do.
Well, we kind of discussed that.
Awesome.
And he just wanted to
Well, they do look
run
cool.
away.
Yep, I like them. They're bright, as they should be.
Motion been made to approve by Paul, second,
I'll say it.
seconded by Kevin, roll call. Chuck,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Tommy, yes. Kevin,
Yes.
motion carried.
Discussion, consideration, approval, rejection of Kevin Perry and Dusty Payne being named as bank defined administrator for the BOK financial accounts. This ensures that someone from the district will maintain user access to the accounts or system. BDA can submit requests to add, delete, modify each user's access. So that would start out with me and Dusty, and then, if approved, then that me or Dusty, being the BDA, can submit requests to add, delete, modify each user's access. So who requests to delete me, it just only takes once. In other words, he could request to delete me once if I'd resign or get beat out in an election.
And chairman, there's no signing of documents he would be doing. It would be up to the chairman, like, to release any funds. But that does give him access. Just say if you weren't here or something happened, he could go in and fix it.
Is this an update or a new add-on, new policy? Is this an update to an existing policy?
There is not a policy.
Okay.
And the previous, board that was on there, it's kind of locked, so y'all can't pull funds out
Okay.
until it's changed.
Alright.
So Blue is on that account,
He's actually on there. He'll be one of the ones listed.
but we will be the
Yes.
BOK.
Yes. And I'm on there just, to receive information on these houses. But there is a place for signature for you on that.
Alright, so that is, we'll need an approval for that.
So a motion to approve Kevin Perry and Dusty Payne as BDA.
I'll make a
BOK.
motion, I'll make a motion that we approve Kevin Perry and Mr. Payne for bank defined administrators for BOK financial accounts.
Motion's been made for this approval by Chuck Wilson. I'll do a second on that.
So Sarah, we're all supposed to sign this? Under our names?
We're gonna do a roll call. Very expensive.
Oh, wait.
Roll call, Chuck,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes, sir.
Tommy, yes. Kevin,
Yes.
motion carries.
Which is,
Done 13, we're gonna be on item 14. Move on.
only one you're lacking, I think, is Dusty. And we did 13, so now number 14, discuss consideration, approval, rejection to enter an executive session. Make a motion that we enter executive session.
I'll second that.
So is this gonna push stop on that?
You guys step out, and if you wanna come back in and hang out with us, you're welcome. If not, and you wanna go on, it's totally up to you.
Roll call,
I don't wanna take up a lot of your time, but if you want to come back in.
You're welcome to be in an
Thank you.
executive call.
And it was nice meeting you.
Tommy, yes.
What was that? Think everything, sir. I think of everything. No, is it about thoughts that I think about? No.
Huh?
Did you come in with just that one?
Yeah, hang on one second, man. Y'all are going to executive session. Give me 1 sec.
Hey girls, I made this chocolate and I gotta work out. That's not fun, but this at least will make me happy. Have a good night. Merry Christmas and lots of fun.
There's not another reporter in there. I'm not that type of person.
I'll try.
Says right here.
Okay. Thank you.
You're good, man. You're good.
Yes, ma'am. We'll just talk to you.
very good. It's only like 25%, it only charged you 27. Maybe it's that charger.
What kind is it?
It's iPad.
Sprint? Or
No, I'm not sure what it's through actually. It's probably through Pine.
the China one? Oh, is that what you've been doing?
Huh?
Been charging it?
Yeah, I'm charging. I charged it while we were out there. Turned it off
Didn't
and
do
charged it.
nothing?
Just 2%. It should be fine though. It's on 27%.
Okay. Everybody here?
I don't think so.
All right,
Quorum's present.
discussion, consideration, approval, rejection to reconvene in open session. I make a motion that we reconvene into open session.
Motion's been made by, Kevin, motion to reconvene.
5:17.
Motion's been made, need a second on that motion, and, I'll second that. We'll do a roll call. Chuck,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes, sir.
Tommy, yes. Kevin,
Yes.
motion carried to reconvene at 5:18.
Number 17, discussion, consideration, approval, rejection, consideration, and possible action to approve employee compensation adjustments, including annual raises, benefit changes, and any changes to the effective date of such adjustments. As discussed in executive session, and none were changed, so I don't see why we'd have to have any action to be taken.
Great. I believe that's correct.
We'll continue as we have done in the past. I will say too, that right on your letter, we discussed that, and the board has decided that we want to stay with the 31st date. And, things that we move forward with Dusty and some other things, if we would think that it would benefit us best just to stay at that date.
Okay, what about, a lot of places, you have a manager that's worked for 27 years. They give you a severance pay, or severance package. I talked to, James Mitchell, when he got his, of course, he was running, Mount Fort, and, he had 35 years in it. How they figured it was $1,000 per year times 35 years. So that's something that you guys want to consider, is giving me a severance package.
We can look into it. And it would have, of course, that's going to be something we have to do before your date. But, if you'll be getting, of course, you're gonna be getting your comp time. And that'll help with Cobra, if you try to cover your insurance, which I think you're gonna wanna try to do that.
Yeah.
But as of today, I mean, we didn't discuss a severance package. But it's,
We can have that for real fast.
do what?
We can have that for real fast for between now and the end of the year,
Yeah.
if we need to.
I'll check into that and see what's kinda on the norm, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
That helped me out. I'm still working on getting my social security and everything.
Right.
And it's just a nightmare. I mean, right now they got me set up for January 21st.
Well, but
To have a meeting.
all this,
Where at?
What it is, it's not a meeting, it's conference call.
Can you?
And then once we have that, then they'll say, okay, you can go to Hodo, or go to Dallas, or what have you.
How about the Hugo office? Is that there anymore?
Does that need to come up in our new business?
I went to the Hugo office.
For what you
They
just
walked
talked about?
me straight
The-
through it, and I
we'll
was
check it
done
out.
in an hour and a half, and they were so
Just-
pleasant
just
and
do
helped
a
me
little bit on it,
unbelievably,
something
and
about
I
it.
was done.
I'll
They even go,
look at it.
you didn't turn in,
Follow up on it, see what-
you could have turned in back
I
here.
know a lot of big companies do
I
that.
go, I could have? I go, yeah, that's $15,000 more dollars, you'll apply for that? I go, yes, sir,
Oh, yeah.
or yes, ma'am.
Well, maybe we'll drive him over there.
But anyway.
But they were, I mean, they were Social Security where I worked.
Severance package or
Great.
something would really help me. You know, I've spent a lot of time with the water district.
How many years you been?
27 years. Everything that's going on in this, system today is all, on me.
And, give us an update on your back. Did your back ever sort of-
Yeah, it's my lower spine, and, if I'm trying to get my Social Security and Medicare and all that stuff,
Well, instead of coming up here, why don't you just stay, take your vacation, you just, take it easy.
you what?
You coming up here, I know you're not being able to stay all day. Is it not, it would irritate you so much, why don't you just take your time for your vacation and just not irritate your back?
I like to come in the morning and talk to everybody and see if they need anything.
That's me.
All right, moving on to,
We're at item 8, so.
that was last, no action taken. 18, update from Dusty Payne on excessive, it's not a big whole business, excessive manganese in the water supply.
It's still showing all negatives on raw and,
So basically, we started getting rains and the lakes started coming out, cooler weather. Thank you. New business, any matter not known about or which could have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of posting. Any,
This, Steve says we need to make an agenda item to do it, but I just wanna bring it to your attention.
need what?
It's, for the water tower, Dave White sent me in and needs your signatures and the date on it. And, Steve said to wait and put it on the agenda.
We actually had a place for Steve to sign.
Yeah, Steve did agree with that.
Can't wait.
Well, it depends on where we're at, we may have to go on a special meeting for it.
Okay.
Cause I need to get with David and make sure it can wait that long.
Okay, let's find out. And then we'll do that if we have to. And if it's, like I say, there's 3 of us, that can sure be more than likely, we'll just come to it. Okay. And that is just the cut and do contract part of the tower?
Yep, I ain't got the one in for the 8 inch, I don't think we, I get one for the 8 inch, cause I thought it was 8 in, this one was just the top.
All right, any other new business?
I just one point to bring up that we're buying hams for all our companies. I didn't know if that was something for Christmas, if we wanted to do that for employees. I've got a contact that I can use if we wanted to approve that.
You need my home address for my house?
Well, the board as well.
I'll come.
I just want one from Blue.
You got any problem with it?
I didn't hear what,
So a ham, a
Oh,
Christmas
ham.
ham, and a ham, just for the employees and
A little appreciation.
the
yes,
board.
I'll make a motion that we purchase
And I'll handle it. I got a guy that I'm buying it from.
hams for the employees.
Yes, sir. I'll second that. Good idea, Blue.
Hams for employees, right?
Mhm.
Alright, motion by Kevin. Sarah, would you get me a head count? You know, maybe text it to me how many you'll need. Seconded by Paul. And like I said, this just came out. So, roll call, Chuck,
yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and Tommy, yes. Kevin.
Yes.
And then I had one other item, and I'm a little bit confused on it. I know we Sarah and I about updating our employee handbook. Did we just want to put that on the next, as an agenda item on the January meeting about updating the employee handbook?
Yeah, cause that might get kicked down the road. I mean, I'm not gonna say kicked down the road, but it, you know, that's gonna take a little while probably.
Yeah, and Sarah and I had talked about it with, and Dusty and I, when I was up here earlier.
Sarah, I did say too, that talking to, Steve earlier, that he said a lot of times he recommends going, he said he would help with any and everything he needed to, but he said a lot of times he recommends just going to OU, or OSU and looking at their employment, info, so you'll be able to find it online. And he said a lot of times he recommends just doing that, 'cause they keep folks very up to date. So, and other policies and procedures as well, so.
And we also discussed on that we could even check with the city of Hochatown.
Yeah.
On that, as a reference source as well.
Yeah.
Cause they
Yeah,
just
everybody
they've
knows.
just updated theirs, so theirs
Those there.
is current. That's all I have.
Now, Sarah, there wasn't anything over here, this was just for information only, correct?
Yes.
All right, if that's, any other new business?
Well, if that's it, we'll just do it.
Consideration approval to adjourn?
Absolutely.
Motion's made by you, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Roll call. Chuck? To adjourn? Paul?
Yes.
Tommy, yes. Kevin, yes. Motion to adjourn has been carried. At
528.
28 p.m.
Chuck, you wanna take Rod to the Social Security
I
office?
don't know, they sure did me well.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Do I need to,
That was a government agency.
I certify the agenda was posted, that's a signature line.
Deal with and help.
I just sign it when I post it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You can call.
You need a copy of the letter?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Kevin, I think a letter, a copy of the
I don't even know
original,
if they're open,
or.
that's what I'm asking, is that Hugo, is that photo, I'm not sure if the Hugo one is.
There's something attached to the back of that.
You need, was that yours or?
This is close, I wouldn't have to drive to Dallas or something.
No, but that one's open, it's that photo.
I know there's several of them.
Well, that's the real-
Everybody gonna make it tonight?
There was one in Paris too.
They were real helpful, you know what I mean?
Tammy's not coming.
It wasn't.
Tammy's not coming.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.